Welcome, welcome to my channel, Donna Creation and More. I am Donna, the creator of this glamorous lighted chandelier. I hope you enjoy it. Now let's get on with it. Here's what it looks like right this second. I'm going to show you how to get to this point. And we're going to start with, yes, a plunger from Dollar Tree. So I have my miter box here. And I'm just, no specific distance, I'm just cutting it more or less in half because I don't want it super long hanging from my ceiling. Gonna re-put the plunger back together. I got this metallic silver spray paint, give it a coat. Now I'm gonna take my drill a hole in top, take this eye hook here, screw that in so I can attach it to the hook from my ceiling. I try in this video to display it and demonstrate the instructions very well, the best I can. So I hope you have no problems if you decide to recreate this. And if you do, give me a shout out on Instagram and I would love to share your photo. So here's my piece of paper. I have a platter from a Dollar Tree. I traced it out. And then I marked a circle everywhere that I'm adding a dot. And I'm marking it on my platter with a permanent marker. Do not worry, you won't see this unless it comes off with rubbing alcohol. So this is just the holes that I'm adding to begin to start with. As I continue on, and then my part 2 where I changed it, you will see everywhere I add the holes. Here I have this metallic mirrored vinyl I got from Amazon, but you don't have to use this. You can use a dollar store tray, or you can use plain old aluminum foil. Anything to reflect the light. And if you use foil, just use some Elmer's glue to glue it on, or some double-sided tape. So I'm just going to take my scraper here, once I get this air bubble out, and just rub it along the edge of the platter to make a mark so I know exactly where I'm going to cut. This don't have to be exact because it's not going on this side, it's going on the inside. So I'm just going to cut that section off. And then I decided to take my black permanent marker and mark the edge, and then press it down on the paper so I can see exactly where the marking is going to be. And it does give a little bit of an imprint, enough for me to be able to see it and to trace it out. And then I will cut this out. If you're one of my subscribers, Glad to have you back watching. And if you know me, I'm always changing my mind. So as this product that I made here, this DIY, has been hanging on my ceiling for the past week, I haven't been happy with it. It's cute, but it's not super glam as I like. So I'm gonna fix that. And that's why I'm redoing this video. And the whole reason why I didn't do just a part 2 is because if YouTube puts it whatever category they put it in, it's going to be new people watching it, and that way they can see how the whole thing is done. And if you're new here watching, welcome. Glad to have you. Please consider subscribing. Help me build my channel. And become one of my crafty friends and join me on this wonderful YouTube journey. Lots of exciting things to come. So now I added my foil. So now I'm going to take my soldering iron, which if you do glam, or if you do follow me on any of my glam projects, you need to own one of these. They're cheap, 10 bucks on Amazon for a whole kit. So here I'm just laying down my platter down, trying to explain exactly where I put each hole. And I'm using it by the triangles on the platter, and then in each corner it goes into 3 lines. So I put it in the center of that line. And you can always pause and slow down the video under your little settings to see exactly what I'm talking about, or zoom in. So yes, if you go above your video and click your settings, you can slow down the video. You won't understand what I'm saying, but if you're saving this video for future reference to recreate this, you'll be able to slow it down and then pause it as you're making it. So here I'm just taking my little pokey tool I made. I have a video on that, just to make sure that once I put the hole in, it goes all the way through, because when you melt plastic and you pull it back out, sometimes it reclogs the hole. And you'll see that later on in my video when I'm redoing the part 2 of it. And I didn't have this pokey tool with me, and I had to refix the hole because it clogged up for me. Now I'm making these holes a decent size because I will be adding many jump rings from the crystals into them. So these are just the same markings I just showed you on the paper, and that I put a dot on with my permanent marker on the back. So 2 in the middle, and then I'm counting 4 over and putting a hole, and 4 over, which is 4 triangles, and then each corner, and then each center on the left and the right. Then I have my crystal garland here from Amazon, and I have some teardrops. They're really, really cheap on Amazon. I think I got like 30 of them for $10. But it goes a long way. They last you a long time. And the garland comes with 99 feet. that is like 20, and boy, that lasted you, believe me. So I prop something underneath here to be able to lift this up so I can be able to see as the crystals hang down, but that's too short, so we're going with something taller. Now this is the way it's going to hang from my ceiling. So I made sure I flipped it around. Just trying to figure out my design while I'm while you're watching it. My brain is working as I'm recording, trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. And that's why that I'm redoing this video, because this is what I decided to do this moment, but then I changed my mind. So here you need 4 sets of 12 octagon and 13 of the jump rings. Jump rings are the little round metal things. So I want to sit here and make 4 sets of them. And I'm marking on my paper where they're going to go. Now on this video I do fast forward a lot of me writing on my paper, but I do show pictures of it, and plus you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing. This is the best way that I could figure out how to demonstrate and help you understand and give full instructions to the best of my knowledge. Now, I do not know what type of program that I need to use to be able to take this drawing and redo it and make it look nice and professional. That way you could click on a link and just print it out yourself. Once I figure that out, I will add it in on my videos. I need to contact one of my fellow YouTube friends that does it and ask them how they do it. So I'm just writing down that I have the 4 sets and how many octagon little crystal links and jump rings that I will be using. Now we're going to begin to add them. We're going to start in the center here. Again, we're using 12 octagon and 13 jump rings, and we're going to take it to this corner, and we're going to do that on the front and the back of this platter. See, like I'm showing you, not realizing that the camera can see through the platter. So we're going to add another one on the center and take it to this corner here. Now we're going to go to the opposite side, and we're going to repeat that from the center to the corner here. Again from the center and then we're going to bring it to the next corner. Now I do have other glam videos on table decor, chandelier, floral pieces that I have made, and that was when I first started YouTube, and I will be redoing them videos. They're really hard to understand. and I will do it in the same manner as I did this one, so the instructions are very clear, the best that I could demonstrate to you. Just trying to decide what I'm going to do next. So I'm making 4 sets of 9 octagon and 10 jump rings. And then once I'm done with that, I will show you exactly where we're going to place them. Let me know down in the comments, 1, if you're a new subscriber, 2, how do you think I did on trying to demonstrate and explain this clearly as possible? If there's something I could improve, please let me know. If you know how to do the whole printout thing, let me know that. That would be great. We all have to learn from my fellow YouTube friends. And I'm still learning. So here we're taking them from the center, and then we have them all made. And we're going to take that to the corner. So we're doing the 2 sides of the platter right now. Of 9 octagon and 10 jump rings. So we did the front and the back, now we're going to do the sides. Corner to center. So right now we're just making loops. Do the same thing from the corner. And that's why you gotta make your holes decent size so you can fit all these jump rings. Bring it to the center. Again from the center. That's the hardest part of this, is getting them jump rings open. And then attach it to the other corner. And then we're taking it from the corner to the center on this side, because I didn't finish this side. I only did one section. Now we have 2 loops on all 4 sides. Now I'm trying to figure out what I wanted to do next for my design. Next hole from the center, we're going to use 17 octagon and 18 jump rings. So we're going to drop it behind the loop we made and then hook it on to the other hole we made to the right of the center hole. So we made a hole on the left side of the center and on the right side, which was 4 triangles apart. So we're just making a loop from the left to the right. And when I did my first video, my dog was snoring in the back, but she's not with me right now. So we don't have a dog snoring in the background. But if you watch my videos and you hear someone snoring, it's my poor little dog. She's a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel, and they have a very short little snout, and when she's sleeping, she snores all the time. So here we're just repeating this process on the other side with the same amount of crystals, dropping it behind, bringing it up, and putting it through our hole that we made from the center. Actually, someone commented on my last video about the dog. Well, they didn't know who it was. I guess they weren't listening to what I said. They were just like, someone's snoring in the background. I was like, yeah, it's my dog. But it's actually sad because she got to sleep with her neck upward in order to breathe. So here we're making another loop. We're going to take it from the corner over to the next corner. So then that will be 3 loops. So that would be 19 octagon, 20 jump rings on both of the sides from corner to corner. And this will make 3 loops on all 4 sides. And we're going to repeat it on the other side. Count out our 19. Leave our jump ring on the end. Then attach it to our corner. And then attach it to the other corner. Now, as you see, I'm having trouble because it's slipping and sliding on this base. If you decide to make this, I recommend, which I did not think of doing at the time, is adding a little bit of tape from the platter onto the vase or whatever you use to raise it off your surface to add these crystals. So I'm just writing down that we need 2 sets for the sides and what I used. So now I have these teardrops. They come like this. I think there's 10 in each bundle. So we're going to take 1 teardrop crystal in the center of all 4 sides. They already come with 3 octagon and 4 jump rings. Now I do change that later on when I redo this platter and add 1 extra jump ring on it. An octagon. But let me just show you this way first before I show you the updated version where it turned out absolutely gorgeous so far. I am really happy with it now. And I'm also going to make a table to match, but not exactly. I have it already planned out in my mind for what's next and how I'm going to make it. So my next few videos will be working on my kitchen, because my kitchen is black and silver stainless steel and glam. So I'll be making over some fabric drawers from the Dollar Tree, a cabinet. So here we got 4 large crystals, 1 for each corner. So we're making 4 sets. Of 9 octagon and 10 jump rings. So technically in this video I'm showing you 2 versions of the way you can do a chandelier from your ceiling. This will be the first way, and then the second will be the other way once I revise it, update it on the second part of this video. So please stay tuned, because once we think it's ending, it's not ending, because we're going to continue on and upgrade this chandelier into really beautiful. So now we're going to add a jump ring to the corner, to the next corner, and I was letting you guys know here, when I get to 1K I can offer one-on-one classes, which I'm super excited about doing. Can give you guys a list of supplies to get beforehand so we can work on DIY projects together, or when I do jewelry we can do that together. So we're just adding again from corner to the next corner. Just trying to figure out my next step, what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to add 2 more holes on each side. And that is 2 triangles down from the last hole. So I can add some more dangles. Just trying to figure out now how long I want them. We're doing 4 sets of 1 teardrop, 7 octagon, and 8 jump rings. And we're going to add that on after we make them. So we're going to sit here and make them. So we need 4 of these. I also just did a glam candelabra, a thrift flip that I just got, and I have it hanging in my kitchen window if you're interested in watching that. So we're going to add that to the hole we just made. Then we're going to go to the other hole we just made and add our other drop on here. And then we're going to continue to the next side. Repeat on this side and just add our 2 dangle crystals that we just made into each hole that we just made. So now we have a total on the left side and the right side 4 dangles. Here I have a light, a motion light I got from Amazon. I really recommend this. These are excellent. They work when you get like a couple feet away. In any direction they come on. I'll let you know my updated version. I ended up taking the diamond wrap off because of the sensor, and I didn't use the Velcro in the updated version, but here I am. These do come with a little bar that slides into that slot on there with double-sided tape, and that's what I ended up using. If you're interested in these lights, let me know and I can give you the link. Or you can just use any remote lights off of Amazon or Five Below, or yeah, that's what I meant. I really recommend these motion lights though. I'm actually gonna make 2 more different types of lights, one for my hallway and one for my bathroom. That way they run on electricity and they save you money. Now I just attached it this way with the Velcro. And the one good thing is these lights do not turn on if you have a main light already on. Like if I have a main kitchen light on, because I put this above my island on my countertop, this does not come on. It comes on when no lights are on at night if I walk in my kitchen or something. So here I'm just taking my E6000 for my permanent hold, and then some hot glue for my temporary quick fix hold. So this can set and dry. And yes, my paint is not completely dried, but we will fix that. It took a lot longer on the rubber part, but again, if you follow me, you know, if you follow a lot of us YouTube crafters, we're impatient, we want to get done. So I'm going to fix it. I'm taking paper towel and I'm just spraying it, cover up my fingerprints. Because I wasn't sure, I was planning on leaving it like this, but then I changed my mind. So I'm just taking some rubbing alcohol and cleaning it in case there's any overspray and letting it dry for 24 hours. So here we are now upstairs in my kitchen. And I'm adding some mirror tiles, which I'm going to change all this. Now you see my countertops there. That is contact paper. It has been working out great for the past 2 years. It needs to be replaced in some areas. And I will be redoing that on my coffee bar in my upcoming video, so you'll be able to see exactly how I added the contact paper. So here I'm taking the diamond bling wrap. Again, this is all like a last minute decision, and I'm changing my mind of what I'm doing right here on the updated version. So this is version 1, and I'll show you another version. I just wanted to make it not look like a plunger. So here I have a glass globe that I got from like Habitat for Humanity or Goodwill. But you can use one of them plastic dollar store bowls to have the ridges on them. I didn't have one of them on hand, or I probably would have used that. And it would have probably looked a lot better. Then I'm going to use one of the Dollar Tree salt and pepper shakers, and I took my hot soldering iron and cut out the bottom. I'm just going to hot glue that in place, and that actually fit right inside the circle. And then I did the same thing with one of them Dollar Tree little bowls that come in a 4-pack. I cut out with a hot soldering iron a hole. We're just going to add that in place and secure it very well. Now, if you look at any chandelier, which I didn't think of at the time, it's decorated from the very top of like, and then down. So that's what we're going to do, along with redoing the bottom. So next we're going to redo the bottom first. So here's version 1, if you want to leave it like this. So now here we are going to refix it. So I'm taking my soldering iron and I'm adding extra holes, and I know that is right in the center of them 2 holes. And I'm going to add another one in the center of those 2 holes. And I'm going to do that on the left and the right. Because we're going to add more dangles. And then we're going to go into the center of this loop and add a hole. And repeat it. Now we're going to come to this side, do the same thing, go in between them 2 jump rings, and add a hole, and then do the same thing on the right side. And as you see, okay, there we go, I'll say, I didn't add another hole, but there we go. And do the same thing, and then we're going to go on the side, and go in the center, add a hole, and then add another hole in the center of that loop. So here I have 1 pendant with 5 octagon and 7 jump rings. Again, it's 1 pendant with 5 octagon and 6 jump rings. Oh, this one is, sorry. It's 1 pendant crystal with 7 octagon and 8 jump rings for the second hole. So we got the 5 and then the 7. We're going to make this into a cascade look. So we're going to continue that. We're going to add our 1 pendant crystal with the 5 octagon and the 7 jump rings. And then add the second one, 1 pendant crystal with 7 octagon and 6 jump rings. Correction, 7 octagon and 8 jump rings. And yes, I see they're uneven, they're like even, so we will fix that later. We're just gonna keep continuing on, going to our side, and we're using 1 pendant with 7 octagon and 8 jump rings again. And so we're gonna add 2 of them. Now see the corner? That's where there's a gap on the left and the right. That's where I ended up adding 4 more, 2 more holes. That way, on each corner, we have 7 and 7 octagons. So they're even. So we added 2. And we're just gonna repeat it, add the other one. And I do give a drawing on this. I did it on the app here for you. So we're just repeating that again. 1 pendant crystal with 7 octagon and 8 jump rings on the sides. So I ended up using 3 different types of crystals on this chandelier. And these are glass. The center ones I changed, they are glass. I don't know the name of that type of crystal. I would have to look it up. And now we're going to repeat what we just did on the other side. 1 pendant crystal with 5 octagon and 6 jump rings. And then add the 7. See, this is turning out so much prettier. So here I'm just adding a shorter one on this side. I didn't do the other side yet because I really couldn't reach. I gotta move to do that one. So I'm adding a shorter one with the 5 octagon and 6 jump rings and the 1 pendant crystal. And you see my hole did not open all the way, so I had to redo it. That's where I wish I had my pokey tool when I did it. I could have double checked it. So I'm just making sure this one is definitely open too, and that one before I move on. So we didn't add any extra holes, we just reopened them. And now we're going to add our longer one on, which is 1 pendant, 7 octagon, and 8 jump rings. And repeat on the other side. And this is what I have so far. Looking a lot better, but it's not complete. I'm going to change it. Here's a drawing from the number 1 in my tip jar. I haven't had any tips or any copies yet, but anybody who does, send me a tip or buy me a copy. I will give you a big shout out in my next video and post your name. And we really appreciate it. Thanks so much. So here I'm adding more holes. The ones I told you earlier that go next to the corner on each side. So that will be 4 more holes for a cascading look on each side, which will be a total of 8 more holes. So I can have more of that cascading look. So I'm adding a teardrop with 9 octagon and 10 jump rings now in them holes I just made. So you're going to need 8 of them made up to add to it. Because remember, we just did the 5 and the 7, so now we're going to add the 9. And I'm using the teardrop on that one. See now, I need to make this corner longer, so I need to add 1 more octagon and jump ring on there, so it'll be 10. So that way we have that nice slanted cascade look. See, now it's a nice angle. So we're going to go to the next hole we just made, next to that pendant crystal dangling, and add our next teardrop crystal, which is a large, next to the large bead, we're adding the 9 octagon, a regular size teardrop, and the 10 jump rings, which will be on the side of the platter. So that way, in the very corner is the longest. And then the same size on the left and on the right. See how they're cascading now? Now, of course, the front and the back have more crystals than the side, because that's longer. And I like how this looks. You can add more if you'd like, but I think it would have been too much. Now we're just going to repeat what we just did on the left side on the right side. So we're just adding our teardrop with the 9 octagon and the 10 jump rings, and then of course the corner we have to fix and add another octagon and jump ring to make it 10. So here I zoomed in so you can see a lot better. See how it's the very corner's the longest? And then we got the one teardrop to the right. That's where we add our extra hole. Now we're going to go to the front right side and add our next teardrop of the other hole we made. So we added 4 extra holes, and we're adding 4 more of the beads. We added 4 holes on each side, 2 in each corner, 1 on the left of the longest bead and 1 on the right. And the larger beads I got at Hobby Lobby on the side of it with our 9. And then add 1 on the side here of the same with the 9 octagon, 10 jump rings, and 1 teardrop. So we have 1 on the left and the right of the corner. And this is what it's looking like so far. Super glam now, beautiful. And I'm just doing the other corner, the last corner, repeating the same process. And then of course that corner we have to add another octagon and another jump ring to make it 10 octagons and make it longer. As you notice to the right here, I forgot to do that one. And I do discover that. And fix it. See, now it's nicely cascaded. And this is where I realized, well, no, I didn't realize it yet. Here's where I'm realizing I need to fix it. I forgot to add an extra one on there. So now we're going to fix it. I am truly loving this. I asked my husband today what he thought about it, and he said it was very pretty. So here is what exactly has been done, and I do screenshot this and add it on here. Now look how much better this looks. This is version number 2. And I also added an extra jump ring in the center. And here's the picture. You can pause this to show you exactly how many. Now we have to fix the top to make it as grand as the bottom. Now we're going to continue with the top. I have taken it down from my ceiling, and I'm going to take everything off that I already put on. You can leave it this way, or you can redo it. So I'm telling you 2 different versions. I'm not happy with this version, so I'm going to change it. And actually the second version is a lot easier and cheaper for you guys, because we're just going to use some glitter tape that I got from Dollar General, and I'm just going to put that around the bottom of my plunger. Really weird, it's still wet. Now tell me how that's still wet. It's been over a week. So in order for me to be able to glue it down, secure it, I'm cutting just the very top. And I'm going to glue it in place. Even though it's tape, it's not sticking that great. Then I'm going to pull down each little slit I just cut and hot glue that in place. I will say this turned out absolutely stunning. I'm so in love with it. This is probably my best glam DIY I think I've ever done, besides my 2 table decors, but I think this overtops them. And my walls, well, my wall sconce was really good too. A little hard to tell which one was my best, but I just love it. So I'm just going to cover the entire thing in this glitter tape and glue it into place. Now this second half I did not draw out, but I'm hoping that it'll be easy enough for you to understand visually, and with me explaining, and with the arrows that I add in. It's not as complicated as the bottom. I will add the link to my other glam videos if you'd like to check out my wall sconce and my different glam table centerpieces and candle holders and other glam decor I have made. So now I'm going to take this bling wrap and I'm just going to coat it running around the edge here of this glitter tape. Just looks a lot better than the mirror tiles that I had on there. Plus the globe fits better. And again, as I said, if you don't have a globe, you can use one of them Dollar Tree plastic bowls. But you can find any globe at a thrift store. So I'm just going to hot glue that in place here. Then I'm going to take some more of that diamond bling wrap and I'm going to cut it into 2 rows. And I'm going to use that to hide the glue that is on the platter from gluing down the plunger onto it. So that's the only purpose of doing this, was for looks, just to hide everything. kind of curious of like what you guys think. I know if you bought something like at a store, it costs way over $100. Then here's the same salt and pepper shaker. I'm just going to hot glue that in place. Now I went and got a new bowl because that one was pretty messed up. There's so much glue and all on it. So I'm showing you where I'm adding the holes for the top. One at the bottom of the scallop, one in the middle, and then one in the bottom, then the middle, and just keep repeating all the way around. And be careful, but you see my iron's very hot. It's been plugged in for a while. And the plastic will be still hot. This does give off a little bit of fumes, but it doesn't bother me. And then I'm just going to cut out my bowl again. Put a hole in the center so I can stick it through onto the plunger handle. And as you see, it still don't fit, so I have to melt some more of it. So now that I got it to fit, I'm just going to put a bead of hot glue on top of that salt and pepper shaker, which is actually the bottom of it, and hold that in place. Let that glue set in and dry. Now I got this piece of leftover from my last DIY of a little bit of, it's like rhinestones and looks like little mirrors. And I'm just going to wrap that around the salt shaker and the glue to fill that in and to give it a little nice little detail. You can add diamond wrap or whatever you like. I just happened to have a scrap piece left over and decided I was going to add it. And it's worked out great because not only can you stretch it to fit as I had to do, it also bends and covered all them seam edges. And folded around the top and bottom nicely. And hid all that. Gave it a nice little finished look. Here I'm just making sure I get it on straight. Hot glue my end in place. This is where I'm pressing it in around the top and the bottom, so it will cover all them edges. And it's more or less like curved now. Looks pretty good. I know you're not really going to see it unless you're up close on it. But I like all the little finishing touches and make my pieces look good. So now it's time to move on to add our crystals. And we're going to add a lot of them. So you're going to need your crystal garland and your teardrops. I did add on the pendant ones on here, but as you see, I changed my mind, as always. So we're going to start in the center of the front and on the scallop that's going downward. And we're just going to loop that in our hole we just made. And we're going to take that jump ring and we're just going to hook it on the other jump ring on the bottom. We are not putting it through any of the holes on the platter. Just linking it on the jump rings. You're going to put enough to where it's loose but not too tight. Now I was counting these as I was going along, but as the video continued I stopped. But I'm letting you know I used 13 right there. Then we're going to skip a hole and go back down to the part of the scallop that drops down. So on the left and right of each scallop on the bottom, the very top is where we're going to put our dangled crystals. And we're going to add that to the second hole over. Well, not hole, to jump ring, sorry. And I did add, I think, 15 here. I'm going to just repeat that on the other side. So we're going to have a crystal hanging, a garland, a crystal, a garland, a crystal, a garland, all the way around. Just alternating. But that's not all we're going to do, so you want to stay tuned and watch closely. Making sure I put this one in the right place. You can design yours any way you want. I'm showing you how I did it my way and the outcome. In the same way, I also do my table chandeliers. I will use one jump ring to add many crystals onto. Again, as usual, I'm putting this out as it's being recorded, which is why 1 minute I do one thing and next minute I change my mind later. Just trying to figure out what crystals I want to use, what size. So here I added on one pendant crystal with 3 octagons and 4 jump rings. And again, all crystals are on the top of the scallops and all the garland is on the bottom of the scallops. Here I'm adding the teardrop ones, which come with 3 octagon and 4 jump rings already. So if you make this yourself, it would cost you about, I'm going to say the crystals are about 30 for the crystals in the garland, and then the Dollar Tree stuff, and probably about $40-50. Oh, and then if you buy the light, that's another 15. So I'm just repeating the same thing I just did on the other side. Adding a crystal in the middle down to the middle jump ring, and then the second hole down to the second jump ring on the bottom. Because remember when we did the bottom, we had the center, and then a hole on the left and a hole on the right. And that's what we're connecting into, the hole on the left and the hole on the right. Then we're going to add our 2 teardrops in on this side. So now we want to add from this jump ring to each corner. So I just hook it onto the jump ring that's already there. Which you end up with 2 crystals on 1 jump ring at this moment. And then You can droop it down to the corner. And just loop it onto the jump ring that's already in place. Now when you put these crystals on, you're putting 2 or 3. You want to have the octagon side by side. You don't want them all twisted. And we're going to do the same thing on the front here. We're going to add 1 on the right side. And then attach it to that jump ring that's on the second one. As I was saying, you want to make sure you have all 3 of the crystals, because we're going to add another one, side by side. So they're not all twisted. And as I was saying, you really don't got to count. As long as it's not too tight or too loose. So when you do this, see, I had to do it on the right side. Now I got to open it on the left to do the left side. So the jump rings, see, the crystal octagons are all one in the middle, one on the left, and one on the right of one jump ring. And then we're going to bring that down and just hook it. So now we got a set of 3 and a set of 2, and we're going to add another one to this one. We're going to add 2 more to this one. We're going to end up doing 3 on each jump ring. Since I'm changing the design as I go along here. So that way that middle one will go to the corner. And then this one will just bring down to the other jump ring that's next to it. There, now you have a better view. And I put it in the wrong place, I see that. But I'll fix it. Now we're just going to repeat that on the other side. We're going to add 2 more to octagon to that one jump ring. To add 2 more strands of garland to come down. So we're going to have 3 in each corner. And 3 in the front. And 3 on the back. So now we have our 3. And we're going to add that to the jump ring that's already in place. And then add that one in the corner. And then add the other one. Oh, it's already hooked, sorry. Now we're going to do this corner. See, that's where I told you I had it in the wrong place. Now I'm moving it over. Because it doesn't belong in the center one. And it doesn't reach. So now I gotta add one more octagon on there. So it's not so tight and fits. So now we can show you we have three. And where they're going to. Now let's move on to this corner. I tried to stay where you guys can see exactly at top what I'm doing. We're just repeating it, making sure we have our 3 octagons. And then bring one down to the corner. Loop it through the jump rings that are already present there from the dangles hanging down. Then add it to that end one right there. And this one I only added 2, so I need to add my 3rd. So now we have like a different cascading look on the top. And a lot more bling. So right now we have 6 sets of 3. Now I didn't do the side here in the middle. So we gotta add one on the right here. And drop that down. And connect it over to the other loop on the bottom. See, I'm just pulling it to see. And see how that one's laying? It's too loose. So I gotta remove one of the octagons. You'll know if it's too loose, because it'll be laying on the platter. And if it's too tight, you're not going to be able to put the jump ring on. Here I'm just trying to get it on this jump ring, try to get it on the right side that it belongs on so they line up side by side. Then that one falls off. So then we have our 3 here. They'll twist it, so I just had to undo it and straighten it out. Because they weren't lining up. It's like having 3 strings next to each other. So like if you got the bead in the center, you gotta have one on the left going to the left and the one on the right going to the right. And I apologize if you hear anybody snoring. It's late at night. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And here I was not happy with these pendant crystals and the way this is looking. It needs more to match the front and the back. So we're going to change this and fix it. So we're going to remove this one. We're going to add 2 more holes so we can add 2 more garlands, crystal garlands on here. Oh no, we didn't add 2 more. I apologize. We added 2 more teardrops. And then we add a crystal garland in the middle to bring it down to the center of the platter where we have our other crystal dangle hanging. Now I didn't like the length of these, so I'm making them longer. I ended up adding 2 more octagons to make it a total of 5. So they will be longer than the ones in the front. God, now my dog is dreaming. I can't win when I do a voiceover. I have 3 dogs. That's my German Shepherd. This is where I decided to add the teardrops and take off them pendants. Oh my god, stop snoring. The pendants just blended in too much. The teardrop gave it more detail. And you could see them better. So I'm just going to take this pendant one off. And then add a teardrop. Make sure I have the 5 octagons. Now I'm happy with that. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to refix it. Make it match. So we're going to add 2 more holes. After we add our crystal center here. And again, we're taking it from the center and hooking it to the center jump ring that's on the crystal that's hanging in the center of the side. Now we're going to add our 2 holes to add our crystals. And we're only going to do 1 more change in this video. After we're done this. And I hope I can explain it correctly. So we're done with both of our sides now. I have these larger crystals that I use on the bottom that I got from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to take 2 of them and I'm going to add it to some of the garland and make another teardrop hang down in the very center. Now that was like 5, but here's the problem. It's too bunchy and the crystal's not hanging right. So I have to take it all off. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking them all off. And I'm going to take that one teardrop jump ring and loop it onto these 3. And that one jump ring I'm going to put back in that hole that the teardrop was hanging from. So now we got the crystals hanging from the jump ring from the teardrop. And that way our crystal dangles down straight. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to remove these. We're going to leave them all on the jump ring. We have, in my hand, I have the crystal. I'm showing you closer here. Taking them all off. And I'm just going to take that and put it on that jump ring of the teardrop. And the teardrop ring we're going to hook on. So that way the teardrop's hanging in the front and all the garland pieces are hanging behind. Now here is the final reveal, the grand reveal. I'm going to show you many ways with the lights on, the lights off, the light on the chandelier on, lights off, different pictures. So stay tuned to see all the different video and pictures. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. God bless and have a wonderful day. And hope you become one of my crafty friends. And tell me what you think of this in the comments below. And like and share. I'm loving this now. This is definitely gorgeous.